with our beloved, our senior, Imam Siraj Wahaj, to be doing a program tonight for our community. We've been trying to, for many years, trying to get him to come to Houston. Personally, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we tried to reach out to him, but subhanAllah, his schedule is so busy. He's always traveling all over the country, subhanAllah. May Allah Azza wa Jal give him health. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him more health, inshallah, strengthen him, inshallah, so that he can continue to go around the country, around the world, spreading the message of Islam. So, subhanAllah, thank you to Brother Junaid and the entire team, Brother Hussein, and all of the sisters and the brothers, mashallah, who were behind all of this, putting all of this together and all of the activities outside for the kids, for the youngsters, for the children. The babysitting, and mashallah, that's a very important part, because especially for the young professionals, sometimes it gets a little difficult to actually listen and benefit from the scholars. So jazakumullah khair to the amazing volunteers. Takbir. Imam Siraj has a formal introduction, but I don't think he needs an introduction. Everyone pretty much knows him. In fact, most of the people know him as the first Imam who spoke without an accent. You know, back in 10, 20 years ago, when we have most of the Imams, and one of my friend, Omar, was telling me that was a big deal for us. He said it was a big deal for us because every time you go to the masjid, you listen to the Imam, you could barely understand. SubhanAllah. And then you have Imam Siraj Wahaj coming in with so much energy, subhanAllah. And even today, I listened to his khutbah. It was powerful, subhanAllah. How many of you were here for the khutbah today? MashaAllah, it was a powerful khutbah. I don't really think he needed the mic at all. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him, inshallah, bless his family and his daughters, mashallah, how he shared the beautiful story that he was traveling around the country and he prayed with his daughters, and subhanAllah, 15 people joined as they made salam, subhanAllah. This is the true spirit of Iman, that you are an embodiment of faith, subhanAllah. Without any further delay, everybody knows Imam Siraj Wahaj, one of the first Imams, mashallah. And I think everyone, young and old, have connected with him in some way. And he has touched the lives of so many people for so many years, and still doing so. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him, protect our scholars, and preserve them, inshallah. The agenda is that he's going to speak for about 45 to 30 to 40 minutes, whatever you're comfortable with, Imam. Whatever you're comfortable with. And we will have Q&A afterwards, inshallah. To ask a question, there is a link. I think the link was shared online. Right. So you could see the PowerPoint in the front, the link. You can scan the link and you can ask questions there. To make it more systematic, we don't want everybody... Huh? Is that working? One is working, they'll fix the other one. We'll put it up. Yes, he's going to play the video. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they'll be ready.
I'll let you know.
They'll have a video to show as well, and then inshallah, if you have questions, just scan the QR code and ask questions, and then we'll try to answer all of the questions as much as we can. Salat al-Isha is at 8 p.m. We'll try to finish about 10 to 15 minutes before Salat al-Isha. Without any further delay, our beloved Imam.
Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, when I was in the 3rd grade, about 8 years old, I learned a song that I never forgot. Would you like for me to sing it for you? It's not going to happen. But the song went something like this: getting to know you, getting to know all about you. And I've come to the conclusion that the most important knowledge we can ever learn is the knowledge of Allah and His Messenger. The entirety of the Quran and Sunnah answers the question, what's in it for me? A friend of mine named Yaqub, he's from South Africa, he texts me every week, every Friday. And one day he texted me and said, Imam Siraj, Do everything with a good heart, expecting no reward. I said, no, Yaqub. Do everything with a good heart, expecting no reward except from Allah. The entirety of Quran and Sunnah answers the question, what's in it for me? I'd like to introduce you to a Sahaba. We don't even know his name. Qala rajulun. A man said, Ya Rasulullah, uqatilu a uslimu. Should I fight or should I become Muslim? Qala, aslim thumma qatil. He said, become Muslim and then fight. وقاتل وقتل وقاتل بقتل وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عمل قليل وأجر كثير. The man, should I fight or become Muslim? Become Muslim, then fight. He took Shahada, he fought, and he was slain. And the Prophet ﷺ said he did little work and got big reward. The brothers and sisters with me, my masjid, when we started, we opened up a masjid. All of those of us who were in the association of Imam Warathuddin Muhammad rahimullah, who guided us to Islam. Alhamdulillah, since that time, we have made over 91,500 salats. 50 years of fasting. 4 pilgrimage for me. Pilgrimage. والحج مبرور ليس له جزاء إلا الجنة. And in accepting pilgrimage, there's no reward except for Jannah. Everything that Allah tells us to do, we get something from it. Let me give you one idea. The Prophet ﷺ said that there was a man in the desert who was thirsty, came across a well, and went in the well and quenched his thirst. And when he came out of the well, he noticed a dog, kalbun, licking its tongue in the earth from thirst. And he said that this dog is suffering from what I'm suffering from. Went back in the well, took out a shoe, put water in a shoe, and gave water to a dog. And the Prophet ﷺ said 3 things. Shakarallah lahu. Allah was grateful for what he did. Ghafara. He forgave him. Are you ready for the 3rd thing? Adkhulu Jannah. What? Adkhulu Jannah. He entered into Jannah for giving water to a dog? Are you serious? No one on the planet more motivated than Muslims. No one. Every commandment that Allah give us, He give us a reward. So this man never made one salat, but Allah put him in Jannah. Can you imagine? Tonight, I want to just us to think a little bit. كتب عليكم القتال وهو كره لكم عسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم. Fasting, fighting is prescribed for you, though you hate it. It may be that you hate something that's good for you. And on the other hand, عسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو شر لكم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. It may be that you love something that's bad for you. Allah knows and you don't know. I need to get the fatwa from you. Can I get a fatwa from the people? Unless you want to give it to us. No, you don't want to give us fatwa? You want them to give us fatwa. Okay. Cigarette smoking. Tell me, what is smoking cigarettes? Is it halal? Is it haram? Is it what? Raise your hand and tell me, inshallah. Yes, ma'am. An addiction? Okay, if it's an addiction, it's haram. Okay, good, yes. Haram. Absolutely? Okay. Huh? Lamb. Okay. Yes. I'm walking down a block from my masjid, and there's a group of Muslims, about 4 Muslims, in front of me, and they're smoking cigarettes. And I know what's going to happen when they see me. They're going to go like this. It always happens. Why they do that? If it's halal, then you don't have to do that. The World Health Organization say that if the nations of the world do nothing about it by the end of the 21st century, 1 billion people would have died as a result of smoking cigarettes. Years ago, they used to say it's makruha, it's not haram, but it's makruha, it's disliked. The entirety of the Quran and Sunnah answers the question, what's in it for me? This man, alhamdulillah, this Sahaba, radiallahu an, Allah gave him a great gift. I want to show you a video. It's a video of my masjid during the day of Eid. There are about 1,500 people on the inside, and you're going to see the people on the outside who couldn't fit in front of my masjid. So if they can show it now, inshallah. They're going to show them on both sides. Okay. 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 I need 2 volunteers. You, yes, and you. I want to show you something. You stand here, and you. Ask us to smoke. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna ask you to smoke. No. I want to show you something that happened many, many years ago when I was in the Nation of Islam. I was selling a newspaper called Muhammad Speaks newspaper. And I used to go knock on thousands of doors by myself, selling a 25-cent newspaper. One day I'm on Eastern Parkway and I saw a building. I said, I'm going to go in that building. I used to knock on every door trying to sell a 25-cent newspaper. And I saw 2 men in the hallway. And I said to myself, they're going to try to rob me. I said to myself, they're going to try to rob me. My question to you is, should I go in the hallway or don't go? Let me know. What you say? What you say? Gonna go. Go. Oh, I go, not you. I go. What, oh, what you say? Ask the fatwa, Chef. Ask the fatwa. For the people. What you say? Go for it. Don't run. Turn around and run. You know I'm not going to do that. If I was going to do that, I wouldn't tell you now. I decided that I'm going in. The guy on the right looked mean, and the other one looked reasonable. So the guy on the right, I took out a Muhammad Speaks newspaper and I put it in his arm. In the other one, I put it in his arm. I said, "Give me 25 cents." Just like that. Wallahi. The guy on the right took out a gun. And, okay. And said, "You just can't rob a Muslim." Put his gun back in his pocket and give me 25 cents. And this man gave me 25 cents. Okay. I want to show you something. I'm going to make a bigger point. Imam Talib Abdul Rashid in Harlem told me once there was a African American woman in Harlem who had a hoodie on. And she was walking down the street and she perceived that there were two men following her. So she picked up her pace. They picked up their pace. She started to jog. They started to jog. She started to run and they started to run after her. And they were just about to grab her. Her hoodie fell off her head, revealing Kimar. And they stopped. "Sister, we sorry. We sorry." Why? Why? Kutiba alaykumul qital wa huwa kurhun lakum. Fighting is prescribed for you, although you hate it. It may be that you hate something that's good for you. My mother, may Allah bless her, she's like 90 something, 92, 90, I don't know. And my mother always taught me and my brother, always fight back. Always fight back. My mother instilled in us, you fight back. And me and my brother were in the schoolyard. And while we're in the schoolyard, I think we were playing handball. A group of people approached us and told us to move. We said, "No, we're not going to move." And me and my brother, we put our backs against the wall and we rolled up our sleeves and said, "Come on." And they hit us a few times and we hit back them a few times. But you know what? They never bothered us again because we fought back. Ironically, the leader of that gang, I never forget him. His name is Eddie. Eddie became a Muslim. And we became friends. You fight back. It may be that you like something that's bad for you. Allah knows and you do not know. So, brothers and sisters, I want to tell you something about our masjid, Masjid al-Taqwa. Most of you have heard about it. And we're ready. Okay, still not ready yet? It's ready? Okay. All right, what we're going to do, I'm going to play this video, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes, inshallah. And again, I want to remind you what this is. It's the day of the Eid in my masjid. And my masjid is packed. At least 1,500 people on the inside. These are the people on the outside who couldn't fit in. This is the outside. This is the outside. Masjid Taqwa, Brooklyn, New York. This is only the outside. It's not all that shit. It's only the outside, all the way down the block, all the way down 4th Street. We deep. We deep. For real, for real. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. We deep. We deep. We deep. I'm telling you. Yo, we deep. We deep. By the way, that's Brother Khalil. We deep.
Abdullah, subhanallah, Muhammad, mashallah, we deep, Muhammad, we deep. Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Boy, this is big, SubhanAllah,
You get the point, right?
SubhanAllah.
You get the point?
Musa, you playing. Musa, you can't mess with this one, Musa.
Okay.
Alaikum Sudani. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Assalamu alaikum.
Why is that significant?
Iman.
If you know the history of Master of Taqwa, you know that this master started with 25 members. All of them African Americans, all of them former members of the Nation of Islam. Now, these are the people that came. We were making Juma prayer in a brother's apartment, a brother named Salim Abdul Sabor. We were making Juma prayer in his apartment. And we was to move the furniture around and make Juma prayer there. And we decided that we wanted to buy a building, some building, not to have Juma in the brother's apartment. So we looked around and we saw some property that was available at a city auction. And we said that we want to get that particular property. The minimum upset, you will start the bidding at $30,000. And most of the things that you bid for went for 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, and so forth. So you start the bidding at $30,000. I said, minimum upset, meaning $30,000. The auctioneer surprised us. He said, $30,000 going once, $30,000 going twice, $30,000 sold for $30,000. We got this property for $30,000. Property was going real expensive. We said we would go up to $150,000, but we got it for $30,000. Why? The commander of the 79th precinct, where we were, the police officers, said, Mr. Wahaj, this area is the worst in the city. Nobody wanted it. We got it for $30,000. A man told me, he said, I was going to bid against it, but when I bid for it, but when I saw the Muslims wanted it, I don't want to bid against the Muslims. Last year, someone offered to buy our building for $7 million that we got for $30,000. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. The reason for it was that area was so bad, nobody wanted to go in it. So we decided for 40 days and 40 nights, we would have an anti-drug campaign. And we would stand in front of the drug houses and tell the people, no more drugs sold here. And we did it. Cleaned it up. The commander of that area told me, Mr. Wahaj, this is the safest, best area in the city. Because of what we did. Because we fought back. I'm saying to you that fighting is prescribed for us. The companions, how many ghazwa, how many fights they have, how many battles? 28, 29, 30? How many? They fought back. Can I tell you something else that happened? One Wednesday night, we were in the masjid celebrating the akikah of one of our brothers and his wife. And we had just finished, and I'm in my office, and I'm preparing the khutbah for Friday. Something about brotherhood. The brother said, Imam Siraj, there is a man here, a brother, a Muslim, to see you. I said, bring him in. It's a brother from Palestine. Taha, I think his name was. And he said, Imam, I need your help. I have a building, and the drug dealers took over one of my apartments, and I can't get them out. The police can't help. Can you help me? I took sure with the brothers. They said, Imam, we should go help them. I'll never forget. I went there, and I knocked on the door, and the drug dealer said, who is it? I said, it's the Muslims, and we're here to take back the apartment of our brother. I heard the leader saying, it's the Muslims, don't do anything stupid. Wallahi. And they came out, and they left, and we got the apartment. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying there's a principle. The principle is fighting back. So, brothers and sisters, I didn't intend to give a long talk at all, but I wanted to give you a kind of introduction to the Muslims and who we're supposed to be. We can make a major difference in this city and wherever we are. I want you to remember who we are. We're the Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us and given us the guidance. Now, my challenge for you is this. Go out there to the people. You have the best. I mentioned in the khutbah how many churches are closing down. People are looking for guidance. They're waiting for us. When I was in the Nation of Islam, I knocked on thousands of doors by myself, introducing these people to Islam. Many of them, alhamdulillah, a number of them came and they accepted Islam as we understood it. You are the best. Allah blessed you. So I want us, inshallah, to be stronger, to be faithful, to realize that we want to follow in the footsteps of the companions, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and invite the people to Islam. How many of you want to do that? Raise your hand. Okay. Tell me what makes you hesitate. Raise your hand and tell me what makes you hesitate to give the da'wah. Me, if I can knock on thousands of doors by myself, what makes us hesitate? Help me. Because maybe if you tell me, then we can solve the problem. Tell me what makes you hesitate.
Alhamdulillah, I think I try my best, but sometimes you don't want to stand out, especially if it's a public area and you only saw somebody for a short period of time. You say to yourself, I don't know this person well enough to introduce Islam to them. So that's one excuse that we may use.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Another excuse I can think of is not having proper knowledge, not being well equipped to say the right thing or handle objections.
Anyone else? What makes you hesitate?
Probably social conventions. Like, it's uncommon in the modern day to kind of push people out of their comfort zone when it comes to making them face the reality of the truth and the nature of this world. So it becomes kind of awkward to ask people to acknowledge these things when they're not used to it.
Assalamu alaikum. Unfortunately, sometimes it's discouraging because even when I'm trying to share Islamic topics with my own Muslim brothers, they sometimes don't entertain it or look at it as a conversation they want to have. So when there's a barrier there and I go to someone who's not Muslim, it is a little discouraging at times.
Sisters, inshallah, I'll be there 1 second.
Assalamu alaikum. I believe age, because I'm from Ohio, Columbus. And back in the day, that's what we did. We knocked on doors, We went to neighborhood to neighborhood. Didn't matter how good, how bad. We went to every neighborhood. And the only thing I can say now, thinking about it, probably my age and me not being familiar with Houston.
I saw a sister. Sister, I'll be right there in 1 second.
Yeah, I would argue actually we're in a unique spot here in Texas. I was actually from the East Coast, and here in Texas, it's actually a very religious state. You know, a lot of Christians, a lot of believing Christians, where you can actually start to have dialogue on religion. And you know, for me personally, I do have this dialogue even at work. You know, and it's a very mutually respectful comment. But when you can come to some terms of connections, especially on the topic of Jesus, the conversation can actually be a very positive one here. That's what I found here.
Yes, sir, bro. Come. Sisters, I'm right there. I'll be right there.
From personal experience, I would say it is easier to give da'wah to non-Muslims than Muslims who are not so practicing. But even though I went on campus, I remember one of my friends was trying to give some guy some da'wah, and then the non-Muslim replied, "My brain is too fried for a theological conversation." So some people, like, they're just not ready for it, and we just assume, oh, we meet a new person, it's like, oh, maybe they don't want to talk about it. And for Muslims, it's just too hard, because whenever you bring up Allah, it's like, oh, Sheikh now is here, Sheikh filter's coming up, you know.
I remember again. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Good. There was a sister here. Over there. Over there.
Take the mic around. Anybody?
Right here. You see?
This one. See? Come on, come on. Any questions? Just take the mic around.
How do you speak in this? Assalamu alaikum. So I think the problem for me is like transitioning into the topic, because like I try to talk about it here and there, but like transitioning into the topic can be difficult and awkward.
Yeah, I didn't. Did you catch it? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Transitioning into the topic is difficult. You get that?
No, you're saying it. I think say it clearer.
Say it. You know what?
Transition to the topic.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to say without the mic?
Brothers and sisters, I've come to the conclusion that when you care, it shows. And when you don't care, it shows. And for some reason, Muslims have hesitated in this part of the world to give da'wah. One of the greatest things that you can give is the da'wah, inviting people to Islam and getting the reward of the good that they do because you invite them to Islam. So if I could be here for another day, maybe a weekend, and say, you know, I want to get a group of Muslims to go out and hand out pamphlets, would you do it? How many would do it? Allahu Akbar, really? Yes? You would do it? Okay, good. So let's do it, brothers and sisters. Let's put it in our hearts and put it in our minds the way Sahaba did 1400 years ago. I'm going to give you an incident that happened when I was in the Nation of Islam. I went to one of the leaders there and said, can you get me a bus? He said, a bus? I said, yeah, I want a bus. I want to go after our people. So we got me a bus, a school bus, and we were driving around the neighborhood, and I came across a park. I said, that's where I want. And I saw a group of black people, and I said, Islam is the religion of the black man. Get in the bus. And they got in the bus. They got in the bus. They got in the bus. And we took them to the temple. We gave them a little talk and sent them away. But the main thing I can say about the Nation of Islam, maybe it doesn't exist here, we cared about the people. When I was a student at New York University, no Muslim ever came to me, no Muslim. But the brothers from the Nation of Islam came, and would sit down with us in the cafeteria, put their arm around us and say, "How you doing, my black brother?" That resonated. Next thing you know, I'm in the temple. We're in the temple because they show that they care. I think many of us are afraid of rejection. They're not going to like us and things like that. But I always want to go back to what I mentioned this morning. The best of my ummah, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, my generation, and then the generation that followed it, and then the generation that followed it. Don't be afraid to talk to the people. You'll be surprised. People are waiting for us to come to them to invite them to the masjid. Bring them to the masjid. Do you bring non-Muslim to the masjid here? We do. So do that, brothers and sisters. That's all I wanted to do tonight. I don't want to do anything heavy and have a question and answer period. And you can talk about this and kind of relate it, inshallah.
Jazakumullah khair, our beloved Imam. If you have a question, we would request you to scan the QR code. We really can't pass around the mic because it creates a lot of feedback. So the QR code is right there in the front, and there's already brothers and sisters who already asked questions before. So we want to prioritize that. So inshallah, just scan the QR code and you can ask the question, and we'll get the questions and we'll ask Imam right away. So Imam, I have the first question. Ready? Yes. Okay. The first question we have is, if you have family members that aren't very practicing, what's the best way to engage with them without driving them away? When I ask them to pray, they respond with "stop judging" or "stop preaching."
This is the big test. I mentioned in my khutbah that we have to open wide the front door and close the back door. Our children are tested. 85% of our children go to public school. 10% go to private school, and 5% homeschooling. They're tested the way Sahaba were never tested. They didn't go to schools, universities. It's a big test to go away from home, away from the masjid, and being under the influence of others. It's a big test. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's very, very, very difficult. Do you have youth groups here in the masjid? That should help. That youth groups, right? That should help. So I don't know, maybe one of you can tell me about how you do it here, in Texas. How do you do it? How do you try to keep the youth into the deen? How do you do it? Youth halakas. How well attended is it? Every masjid is different. So many masjids have it, and some have few, some have more. Your experience, those who attend the halakas, how they make out, how they do. Do they fare better than the ones who don't come? Is that your opinion? Okay.
All right. So I hope that answered the question. The next question is, how do you give da'wah to people, Muslim or non-Muslim, without sounding judgmental?
See, you don't give da'wah to judge people. You give da'wah to give an alternative lifestyle. Go back to the best generation. I mentioned in the khutbah, all of them would die, receive the da'wah of the Muslims. So all you have to do, see, Allah guides in the end. Allah guides. All you have to do is invite the people. Maybe they come, you don't know. You have to find ways, inshallah, in the colleges and the universities, in your areas. Again, I knocked on doors. These people, non-Muslims, invited me to their weddings, their graduations, and their funerals. I was like, oh, brother, I was Brother Jeffrey, by the way. I was Jeffrey 12X. You know what that means? That means I was the 12th Jeffrey in New York to join the Nation of Islam. Jeffrey 13X came after me. To show you how effective we were, there was a James 250X. What does that mean?
There's 250 of them. Oh.
250 of them where?
In New York.
In New York. 250. Malcolm X was Malcolm X because he was the first Malcolm in Detroit to join the Nation of Islam. Malcolm 2X came after him. You ready for this one? James 267X. You see my point? 267 James in New York joined the Nation of Islam. How could somebody beat us? Do they care more than us? Do they care more? Maybe so. So, brothers and sisters, all I'm trying to do is help to push us to do more, to invite people to the deen, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. Imam, the next question is, how are you born Muslim? Maybe this would be a good question to kind of tell us a little bit about your childhood or
How
your
what?
journey to Islam. Are you a born Muslim?
Am I born Muslim? That's a serious question. Am I born Muslim?
I don't know who asked that, but I think you mentioned that many times.
No, I am what you call a convert or revert. And thankful to Allah. And brothers and sisters, really, I'll be honest with you, I can't thank Allah enough. See, I came through the Nation of Islam. Many did. And some didn't. So, you know, it's difficult for people to change their religion. That's what that was all about. But I go back to my point, during the time of the Prophet, wasalam, da'wah was major. They always invited people to Islam. So, you know, you can't make a person be a Muslim, but you can certainly invite them. It's an invitation. You have days, have you had invite non-Muslim to the masjid? How does that usually work out?
It's all right.
Pretty much, it's.
Next question is Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I want to say something here. It's important.
I'm just going.
Oh, no. First of all, Michael, let's get that aside. Well, I want to tell you something that happened to me. I think about 2 years ago. I was invited to a small masjid in Newark, New Jersey, Masjid Haq. Had a fundraiser dinner, and they wanted to raise $50,000, and there were about 25 people there. And they didn't have much money, and I didn't think that we would raise much money. So I made a pledge of $5,000. I didn't have $5,000, but I knew I would get it. I went to my friends from Mass and told them that I made a pledge of $5,000 for this masjid. They didn't hesitate. They wrote me a check for $5,000, and I gave it to them. Since then, they raised the money. But what I want to call your attention to, what happened that same night, the same night that we were doing a fundraiser, trying to raise $50,000 for a masjid, there was a college football game. Ohio State and Michigan. Who could guess how many people came to that college football game? Give me a number. Huh? How many? 80,000. Very good. 120,000. 120,000 people came to a college. Now, everybody didn't pay the same ticket. Who can tell me the most expensive ticket that night? How much? Very good. 3,000. $22,000. $22,000. And I came to a point, I got it. It is the nature of human beings to compete. Even Muslims. The Prophet said, I hope that you be here for the people of Jannah. I will have more followers than any other. All throughout, there is this competition. We can't help it. Can you get my book, my notebook? Oh, here it is, right here. Thank you. I hope I have it. It's crazy. You're going to think I'm making this up. You're going to think I'm making this up. Watch. Cristiano Ronaldo. Who heard of him?
Everybody.
You know how much money he plays? What does he play? Soccer, right? You know how much money he makes a year playing soccer? $275 million a year. Who can tell me, Michael Jordan, how much money he's worth?
How about the person who asked the question?
$3 billion. Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, in 2015 made $300 million. In 2018, he made $285. One of my favorites, Stephen Curry. You know Stephen Curry? I like Buck. He makes $156 million a year. Why? It is in the nature of human beings to compete. They can't help it. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Right? Allah created us. We can't help ourselves. To test us, who is best? Look, you got to go take a flight somewhere. What airline you going to use?
Spirit.
Delta or American or United or, you get my point? What hospital are you going to go? What school will you go to? It is a competition. It's the nature of human beings to compete. أرجو أن تكونوا نصف أهل الجنة. I hope that you, behalf of the people of Jannah, I will have more followers than any other. Everywhere you go, people are competing. Always the Olympics. Go down the line. We can't help ourselves. I didn't mean to yell. I'm sorry. All right. I'm just saying, brothers and sisters, that's just the nature of human beings to compete. We can't help ourselves. Yes.
Jazakallah khair. Next question we have, Imam, is how do we hold conversations about Islam with people who are very religious Christians?
It's okay. See, brothers and sisters, the result, it doesn't belong to us. The result is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The question is, did you make effort? Did you make effort? I mentioned in the khutbah about this man on the plane. Everywhere I go, I'm talking to people, inviting them in some way. And listen, let me go back to what I talked about today earlier, right? Had I sat next to that man and just before any conversation and say to him, "Sir, would you like to learn about Islam?" What you think he'd do? Huh? He said, "Can I change my seat?" You have to find a way, a natural way, you can bring in the discussion of Islam. Whenever there's an opportunity, you try to do it. And brothers and sisters, you never know. And I've been in many circumstances in my life when I had an opportunity to talk to people and to invite them to Islam. You must have known by now that Imam Siraj and the brothers from Masjid al-Taqwa will be closed down the drug houses. Marty Markowitz is the board president of Brooklyn, declared, I forgot the date, Imam Siraj Wahaj Day. Did you know that the session of Congress never opens except a Jewish rabbi or Christian minister? For the first time in the history of this country, an imam opened up a session of Congress, and that imam was
Imam Siraj.
Imam Siraj Wahaj.
Takbir.
No, I don't want to takbir. I was trying to make a point that we have make good impact on this society. I'm going to say something now that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for some of you. I'm admitting to you, so you may get angry at me. I mentioned that there are 10,000 Muslim stores in New York City. I think stores are one of the greatest places to give da'wah. If I owned a store, a Muslim, I couldn't sell cigarettes. Knowing the destructive nature of cigarettes. I mentioned already, World Health Organization said that if the nations of the world do nothing about it, by the end of the 21st century, 1 billion people would have died as a result of smoking cigarettes. It's not like I wonder if this is any good. We know that it's not good. And I know it's difficult. I know it's very difficult for you. I'm not here to judge you or to beat you, anything like that. I'm here to reason with us. Now, when I go to a Muslim store, wallahi, I don't look to see what they're selling. I don't like, I'm gonna see what they, astaghfirullah, let me see what they're selling. I don't do that. I can't help it. I want to get water, and I gotta move the alcohol out the way to get water. You get my point? You get my point? So, brothers and sisters, may Allah bless us to do better. May Allah bless us with a spirit of da'wah, spirit to bring the people as the Prophet ﷺ did during those days. Let us try, at least make some effort. If you can't talk to someone, hand them a pamphlet or something. Say, madam, can I give this to you?
Great. Imam, the next question is, does the da'wah have to be with our mouth? Can it not be with our actions?
I think all of it, all of the above. I think that when you treat people well, I think that adds to it, especially if you look like a Muslim. So you know what? I saw a Muslim, and that Muslim helped me. I'll never forget that. All of it is da'wah, inshallah.
Can you give two things that are the most important when it comes to da'wah?
I think the first thing is caring about people. I've always said that. When you care, it showed. When that man gave water to a dog, he cared. It shows. And we do little things, helping people in little ways, like I mentioned, the man on the plane, little things like that, being to care about the people. Now, you don't, it's difficult to just go to someone and start saying, let me tell you about Islam. Most of them are going to run, but you usually try to find some incident, something happens where you can have a discussion about Islam.
Can you give specific examples how, as Muslims, we should be fighting to give da'wah as you described? The principle is easy enough to understand and agree with, but can you clarify what actions should we be taking in order to give da'wah? In terms of when you said...
I think you always look at your circumstances. There's a da'wah where you can just give a pamphlet, hand out a pamphlet. There's a da'wah when you, like when I was on the plane, when I spoke to that man from Iceland, it was an opportunity to give da'wah. But be careful, don't be intrusive on the person. Just try in little ways that you can help someone. That's it.
Imam, next question is how to build a foundation for kids that are still elementary age. How do you bring in them the love of the deen?
One of the most very difficult things that our children being affected by this society. It's not easy. That's why when you put your children in public school, it's a challenge. I must admit, Allah blessed me with 9 children. All 9 of my children went to Muslim schools, and I paid for it. They didn't say, you the imam, you don't have to pay imam, you don't have to pay. No, I paid for it. And of the 9 children, 6 are solid Muslims. 3 don't say we ain't Muslim, but they're challenged. Like most of us, even when you send them sometimes to Muslim schools, they're gonna be challenged, right? So all you can do is the very, very best that you can, every way that you can. Talk to people, talk to other Muslims, those who are having difficulty with their family, every way that you can, try to help. But to me, the most important thing, A, is going to a Muslim school, and then B, having programs in the masjid for the youth. You have programs here for the youth?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Okay.
As a young person, how to tell a religious 60 plus old person that what they are doing is bid'ah or haram, such as riba?
Brothers and sisters, it's not easy. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. I like to be advised. People can advise me, but some people don't like advice like that. So do the best you can, brothers and sisters. Just do the best you can. And sometimes, if you're young, maybe you don't want to do it. Maybe go to the imam or go to some elder and say, so and so is having a difficulty. Maybe you can talk to them.
Let me just. Sorry. So the Imam said that just two more questions, though we have many more. So I really cannot go through all the questions, and we have filtered few that were more relevant. Imam, this is a really good question, and I think it would benefit a lot of us. What do you do if the masjid that you are in right now doesn't allow you to protest? What do you do if the masjid you are in right now doesn't allow you to protest? If the masjid or the management doesn't allow you to.
Is there such a masjid?
This is the question that came.
How would they stop you from protesting? I think they know something about the nature of America that's good, the right to protest. And I would discourage any community to stop the believers from protesting. It's a given right. You have the right to do it. You're not doing anything wrong. I think, to me personally, I think it's wrong not to protest. Whoever sees an evil, let him change it with his hand. And if he can't change it with his hand, change it with his tongue. If he can't change it with his tongue, change it with his heart. But this is the weakest of Iman. But it's the nature of Islam and everybody to fight back. No, you have a right. You have the right in this country. Why would you stop someone from protesting? I don't mean to get on the administration. I love the administration. I love them. But we should have the right to protest, in my opinion.
Next question, and we're about to finish. How do you give da'wah to people who work for you, such as your employees, and you're their boss?
I keep coming back to the same point, brothers and sisters. See, when your kid shows. See, the question is how you do it. Everybody don't have to do the da'wah the same way. You can leave a booklet. You can give somebody a pamphlet. You can tell someone about a radio station. But just make effort. All you got to do is make effort. And you don't have to ever be afraid of inviting people, because you never know. And when you go back again to that first ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, khairu ummati qarni, best ummah, my generation, you see that is a generation that gave da'wah. Da'wah is powerful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. May Allah bless this masjid. And may Allah bless you to continue to work and continue to make the da'wah. Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakumullah khair. We have a lot of activities outside. There's a lot of food and things to do for kids. The Imam would like to conclude here. I'm sorry we're not able to answer all the questions. He wants to just.
Huh? What? You're not supposed to say that.
Oh. No, I already asked all the questions that were relevant. So the good ones I already filtered most of them. Jazakallah khair. Once again, I'm sorry we can't take all your questions, but we have to make sure that we are respectful to our beloved Imam. He flew in and he travels almost every weekend. So we have to every weekend, yes. He travels almost every weekend. Every weekend. So we have to make sure that we're respectful of his time and his effort and energy, for the fact that he came here today, gave the khutbah, and spent about almost 2 hours with us. So jazakumullah khair. And also, as he exits, please try to be respectful of not bothering him too much. Okay. And before we conclude, we have a small token of appreciation for the Imam.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair. Imam Siraj Wahaj. If I can call Brother Ertiaz, come forward, inshallah. Brother Shah also.
You just hold it close like this. Brother Wasim, Salman, Omar Sami, and also I wanted to invite, if they want to come up, Junaid, Haris, Omar, Adnan, if any of you guys want to come up and join. So just a few words. Bismillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulullah. Obviously, we always welcome, always love having Imam Siraj here. Actually going to show you guys, this is more for the younger, maybe under 25. And me and Brother Wasim were laughing about this, how long some of us have known Imam Siraj. This is how long some of us have known Imam Siraj. And if you guys don't know, I asked my son, who's 14, and he first said, there's a CD player, and then he said a couple other things. I think his sister got it right. But in the old days, Imam Siraj would come to the MSA and fly all around the country, and he would just literally bring a box of tapes, and it says, from Taqwa Productions. Hey, guys, I'm going to do my thing, just put a box in the back. I wanted to start, just very few words. I was one time with Rahimahullah Sheikh Muhammad al-Sharif when he had first started Al-Maghrib Institute. I said, who inspired you? He's a Canadian kid, moved to Baltimore. He said, Imam Siraj. He said, there's no town, no masjid I know in North America where he hasn't been. He goes, and he said this word, he goes, name a random small hick town, he's been to the masjid there. Today, before coming here, I called our friend, Brother Ehsan Ahmed in McAllen, Texas. I said, Ehsan, has Imam Siraj been out to McAllen, Edinburgh? He said, yes, twice. And he came in 2009. And I was laughing with my wife. I goes, nobody goes to McAllen. Even people who live there, they leave. They don't go back. And Imam Siraj has been there at least twice. So guys, I just wanted to say for Imam Siraj, those of us who have known him over the years, the old Islamic Awareness Weeks at University of Houston, our speakers used to be Imam Siraj, Imam Wazir, Hakim Olajuwon, Abdullah Idris Ali. They were like the best Islamic Awareness Weeks. I cannot think of masajid in Houston that have not hosted him. I don't use the word rival organization. All the Islamic organizations love each other. But even if you look at CARE or MAS, ICNA or ISNA, Al-Maghrib Institute, Zaytuna Institute, everybody claims Imam Siraj. Everybody invites him. I also wanted to say, so many shahadas on campus. I personally know people who are still my friends. Imam Siraj gave shahada to them. Finally, I wanted to say, I met Imam Siraj, but the relationship with Houston, he already had. Brothers like Wasim Ahmed, Omar Sami, Salman Yusuf, Brother Mujahid Cody. Brothers who aren't here right now in Houston, Pervez Ahmed, Zahir Malik, Maqsood Siddiqui. These brothers every year inviting Imam Siraj. Sometimes we would laugh and say, SubhanAllah, Imam is here twice in 1 month. For one small masjid, for Helping Hand, for ICNA, for CARE. And I wanted to mention also my sisters. So many amazing sisters hosting Imam Siraj back then. We have for sure at least Sister Sadi Jalali, Asma Sayyid, Aisha Jalali, Afia Jalali. I have to mention Saira Siddiqui as well because she's my wife. And it's true, she was also part of that. So I want to say, without saying too much, the Prophet ﷺ said, the one who doesn't thank the people doesn't thank Allah. And really, I don't think there's anything we can repay or say to Imam other than thank you and just love and dua for him. Because again, for many of us, I mean, I was 18, 17. My kids are now 17. That's the summer I met Imam Siraj. We all grew up with him. Today, I pick up my son from Islam in Spanish. He comes home, he goes, Baba, you know who's there? I said, who? He said, Imam Siraj. I said, man, he didn't even give the khutbah there. He said, no, he just popped by. Because even many of our imams, like Imam Mujahid Fletcher, Imam Isa Parada, Sheikh Tawqir, they look at Imam Siraj as their sheikh. So we look at these brothers as our sheikh, but they look at him as their sheikh. So inshallah, if nothing else, before he heads out, hopefully has some brisket or barbecue with us, give him salams, tell him thank you, ask him how you can help some of his projects. And inshallah, that's the least we can do. So we have a very small gift for him. And don't worry, Imam, we will FedEx this to Masjid Taqwa. You don't have to carry it back. A small plaque just saying how much you can take it out. How much we love, respect, and honor him. It is on behalf of Brand Lane Islamic Center and ISGH. And also, I just wanted to say to everybody, again, that for our brother Junaid Chaudhry, his wife, Sister Aisha, all the volunteers behind the scenes, Brother Shah, who are the leaders, a lot of people work to put an event like this together. And I wanted to thank all of them. And I know this is going to be the first of many amazing events at this amazing masjid. So Jazakallah khair, Imam. Always love having you, and inshallah, Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother Reza. Jazakumullah khair, and thank you for sharing all that insight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. And just to remind you, I think he will be in Houston this month twice as well. I think there's a ICNA conference going on in Thanksgiving, and he'll be here for that as well. SubhanAllah. جزاكم الله خير. سبحان الله بحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Salat al-Isha is at 8 p.m. and there's a lot of activities for the families and the young ones. Please, inshallah, enjoy yourself and be back for Salat al-Isha inside the masjid. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Just to remind you, there are a lot of food trucks outside. Please buy and support them as they are the sponsors for this program and they support all of the programs. Jazakumullah khair.